After a 10-year hiatus, a new lithium company emerges from the galaxy. Introducing Lithium Universe Limited, committed to building a lithium future. Our company is chaired by the original lithium trailblazer, Mr. Iggy Tan. Iggy ran Greenbushes Lithium in 1995 and was the first to commission a lithium carbonate plant in Australia. Iggy was also one of the first mining executives with an eye on the lithium-ion battery future, some 25 years ago. Iggy and his team built Mount Cattlin, rated at 137,000 tonnes per annum, and they also built the Jiangsu lithium carbonate plant, rated at 17,000 tonnes per annum. When Iggy first joined Galaxy, their market cap was less than $10 million, before he put them on a path to ultimately reach in excess of $2.5 billion on merger with Orocobre. Galaxy is still regarded as the first large-scale integrated mine-to-refinery project of its kind. Importantly, when these projects were designed, built and commissioned, the lithium prices were but a fraction of where they are today. It's a testament to Iggy's ability to deliver difficult projects on time and on budget in extremely difficult markets. Joining Iggy on the board is Greenbushes veteran, Mr. Pat Scallon. Pat ran Greenbushes for over 25 years and oversaw production increase from 200,000 tonnes to in excess of 1.4 million tonnes per annum. We've also got international lithium downstream technology expert, Dr. Jinwan Liu. Dr. Liu is former Galaxy and designed and commissioned Jiangsu. Introducing our Apollo exploration project. Apollo is located along the Trans-Tyger Highway in James Bay, Quebec. This generous 240 square kilometre parcel of land was staked when lithium prices were at their previous low and nestled between what was then two relatively unknown junior exploration companies. Apollo is only 30 kilometres away from both Patriot Battery Metals, Corvette, and Winston Resources, Adina. It's been a hotbed of activity over the previous 18 months for those companies. Phenomenal drill results, now equally as impressive mineral resource estimates. Patriot coming in at 109 million tonnes at 1.4% lithium, and Winston 59 million tonnes at 1.1% lithium. We're all probably old enough to recognise and remember the NBA Dream Team, the likes of Jordan, Stockton, Malone, Pippen, teaming up to take on the rest of the world to prove their might. Well, not one to be outdone, some 30 years later, Iggy has put together his own lithium dream team. Joining Iggy, Pat and Jinwan, we've got the former GM of operations at Galaxy, Mr. Terry Stark, Roger Pova, who ran Mount Cattlin, Hui Nguyen, who built Mount Cattlin, and John Loxton, he built Jiangsu with Iggy. He's also on the team. Our most recent appointment is the former CFO of Galaxy, John Zabulski. Stepping through what a typical lithium mine development timeline might look like, from maiden through scoping, PFS, DFS, funding and construction, can ultimately take in excess of 10 years. Let's have a look at what the dream team achieved at Mount Cattlin, from first maiden to first product in an extraordinary 3-year time period. How did they achieve this? They skipped scoping and PFS, ran a number of other processes in parallel, whilst leveraging an incredible team culture. Looking at what's happening further down south at Kwinana, after commencing construction in 2016, it's evident that this plant is still only operating at 8 to 10% of design. Capital cost blowouts have been experienced to the tune of over $300 million. The story at Albemarle's Kemerton plant, not much different. Construction delays, commissioning delays, and still only operating at less than 50% of design. Most recently, they had to parachute in Chinese operating expertise to help fill that gap. If we turn the page to Canada, the story stays the same. We've got Nemaska Lithium, who completed their DFS in 2011. after spending in excess of $250 million to deliver only 110,000 tonnes to market, they filed for Chapter 11 in 2015. Nemaska Lithium completed their DFS in 2018, and after spending in excess of $400 million, failed to make startup in 2019. Let's compare this to the Dream Team's track record at Jiangsu. From breaking ground to project completion and commissioning, an extraordinary 25-month period. Capital cost more than reasonable, $120 million. The plant operated at design and delivered the highest quality lithium carbonate to market. It's evident that Canada is forcing a critical mineral strategy, mostly evidenced by Sinamine's forced divestiture from Power Metals Corp and relinquishment of their spodumene offtake agreement. Canada also has a burgeoning automotive industry. In excess of 1.6 million vehicles are exported annually. It's clear that Canada appears to be forcing a downstream solution. There is also a real lithium conversion gap that currently exists in North America. Approximately 900 gigawatts of battery and cathode factories have been announced to come online circa 2028. This will require 800,000 tonnes per annum of lithium chemicals to meet this demand. The current planned conversion capacity is only 100,000 tonnes per annum. Currently, there are actually no operating refineries in Canada and the USA. So North America as a whole has no operating refineries. In fact, 95% of all conversion comes from China, a country that North America is trying to desperately decouple itself from. So where does that leave us? We've got the government pushing a downstream requirement. There are no operating converters in North America, and there's limited processing expertise amongst junior exploration companies. Our solution is the Quebec Lithium Processing Hub. The Quebec Lithium Processing Hub is a mine to battery-grade lithium carbonate strategy, where we're going to leverage a 1 million tonne per annum multi-purpose concentrator to feed a 16,000 tonne per annum lithium carbonate plant. The ore for the concentrator, which will be based on the proven Mount Cattlin design, will be sourced from two spots, either our own at Apollo or by entering into 5-year joint venture agreements with other juniors in the area. This will afford them the opportunity to bring forward their cash flows and accelerate their own mine development. If, after 5 years, they choose to want to have a concentrator on their own site, we'll be able to do this for them, and they'll be able to become a concentrate producer in their own right. Primero has been engaged to complete the engineering study for us. They're looking at determining what the capital cost will be to replicate the proven Mount Cattlin design, but for the Canadian environment. Our 16,000 tonne per annum battery-grade lithium carbonate plant will be based on the proven Jiangsu design. Battery-grade carbonate will be sold into North American markets and potentially Europe. This will meet the Canadian government's critical mineral strategy, but more importantly, provide a real downstream solution for Canadian lithium miners. Hatched Engineering is completing the refinery study for us. They built Jiangsu with the Dream Team and are determining how much it's going to cost to replicate that design, but for the Canadian environment. We've also recently signed an option on land in Canada for our refinery location. We've chosen the Bécancour Industrial Park. It's got access to, with sealed roads, rail, and proximity to deepwater port. Made the location almost perfect. Our design incorporates that first initial train for 16,000 tonnes per annum lithium carbonate, but we've also made sure we've got additional optionality for 2 additional trains to bring the cumulative total production capacity up to 48,000 tonnes per annum to make a real dent into that 800,000 per annum conversion gap we identified earlier. We're also completing our lithium carbonate refinery test program under the guidance of Dr. Jinwon Liu. So we're conducting MET testing on a number of internationally sourced spodumene samples to ensure that we're building the most robust refinery possible. We'll be able to import ore from anywhere in the world to Bécancour for processing. This will allow the Canadian market to keep maturing. So, in summary, we're looking to fill the real downstream gap, conversion gap that exists in North America. We've got the Lithium Dream Team, a proven board and management who execute difficult projects on time and on budget. And we've also got the Quebec Lithium Processing Hub strategy. So there's no better time than now to join us on our mission to build a lithium future.